In this screencast, we're going to look at the diphthongs just a little bit, and then we'll spend most of our time practicing pronouncing these words now that we know diphthongs and syllables and accents and breathings and all that good stuff. Start as usual by downloading the saved workspace file and then using that to start accordance. And I've got the text pretty large here because we're going to be doing some reading. Now I do want to change one thing, and that is I want to go into my preferences and change the color of the highlight. I'm going to change it from yellow to gray. I'm going to be using yellow later on, and so I wanted to have a different color for the highlighter. As we look at John 3:16, I want you to scan through the words and find all the diphthongs that you can find. Well, the first one's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's that first word. So you have an omicron upsilon, and that's pronounced oo, so the word is hutos. Look for the next diphthong. And it's down on the third line, it's huion. So you look and you can see one diphthong and one single vowel, so that tells you there's two syllables, and it's got a rough breathing, so it's huion. Next diphthong? Right, pistuon. The epsilon upsilon is the diphthong. Yeah, very next word. Here's one of our more difficult diphthongs to remember in terms of pronunciation. The epsilon iota is pronounced A, so this is ace. Next diphthong, very next word. It's auton. The alpha upsilon is pronounced ow. Where's the next diphthong? Be careful, it's a little sneaky. Right, you have an improper diphthong down here in eche. That's the eta with the iota subscript. And then there's one more diphthong. It's in the last word, ionion. It's that other diphthong that has a different pronunciation. Alpha iota is pronounced I. So epsilon iota is pronounced A. Alpha iota is pronounced I. Now I made a set of highlights just to emphasize these diphthongs for you, and there they are. I'll go ahead and turn that off. There's a couple of diphthongs we didn't see, and I thought we might as well just go look for them. So we're going to start by changing to the Greek text. I'll do a word search, and we're looking for the omicron iota diphthong. So we're going to look for it at the beginning of a word. So we're going to type omicron iota asterisk, and there you have it. The word oikion. Oikion means house. So omicron iota is pronounced oi. The only other diphthongs that you haven't seen are the two other improper diphthongs, alpha iota subscript and omega iota subscript. And I'm going to show those to you, but I'm going to use them also to show you a couple other things as well. If you just go to type, for example, alpha, then you go, wait, how do I type an iota subscript? Well, let me show you about something. When you download Accordance, you also get some interesting documentation. And so I'm going to hide Accordance for a second and go into my hard disk. And I need to get to the library. Now in Lion, Apple has hidden it, so you have to hold down the Option key before you click on Go. Go down and get your library, and then go to Application Support, Accordance, and Documentation. There's a file in there called accordancefonts.pdf, and page, I think it's 6 on it, has this great keyboard layout that helps you know where everything is. And so the reason I'm here is that, well, where's the iota subscript? Well, the iota subscript is right there. And you look at the key down here, and you can see in the lower right-hand corner, if you hold down the Option key, then you get the iota. Okay? So I'll get rid of this and go back to Accordance. So I'm going to type alpha and then Option O. If I did the search now, it wouldn't find anything because that's not a word. So go to the beginning and put an asterisk and then do your search. Now this is really important. You'll notice the first hit is Zara. Where's the Yoda subscript? Well, Accordance ignores Yoda subscripts just like it does accents and breathings by default. Say, no, I want to see an alpha Yoda subscript. What you do is you go to the beginning and you put an equal sign in it. Now when you do your search, you can see the first hit is Lothra, and there's your Yoda subscript. We'll go and we'll look for Omega Yoda subscript. And our first hit is Kuklo, the word that means circle. Okay, well that's it for diphthongs. Hopefully you'll get those into your head. Now let's just go do some reading, and we're going to go over here to 1 John 1, verses 5 to 10. And what I want to do is to put the English under the Greek. It'll be a little easier to read. And I've gone ahead and made a special set of highlights. And what I did was highlight every even-numbered syllable. It makes it a little bit easier to read through this if you can follow the yellow and have it help you divide the words up. So what I'm going to do is to read through this passage, and I'll read through it slowly, and you can watch the yellow, and that'll help you with the syllables. And I'll move the mouse after I say the word because I don't obscure the yellow. But I want to do the mouse over so that you can see what the Greek words mean in English. And then what I would encourage you to do when we're all done is to pull up your copy of Accordance or download the reading sheet from the website that has just this passage on it, and just practice reading these verses without the yellow highlights. You just really need to get comfortable reading Greek. You need to get comfortable with the font and how to say the words, and it just takes time. So let's just do some reading together, okay? I'm going to read these verses pretty slowly because I want you to say the word first, and then I will say it and you can say it with me. So it gives you a chance to give it a shot and then say it with me properly, okay? So start with the first word. It is pronounced Kai, Estin, Haute, He, Angelia, Hain, Ake Kaamen, Op, Autu, Kai, Anangelomen. Don't forget that you got a gamma nasal in there. Humin, Hati, Ha, Theos, Phos, Estin, Kai, Scatia, En, Auto, Uk, Estin, Udemia. So how'd you do? Feel comfortable? So again, make sure you're saying these out loud right before I say them, and then say them again with me, okay? First word in verse 6, Aeon, Apomen, Hati, Koinonian, Echamen, Met, Autu, Kai, En, To, Skate, Peripatomen, Pseudamatha, Kai, U, Poiumen, Tain, Aletheon. Okay, very good. If you struggle with that, you should do those two verses over and over again until you're very comfortable with them. I'm going to start reading a little more quickly now, but I'm going to go down here and use the down pointing triangle to go to the next couple of verses. Click it twice. And let's just read this together, okay? Aeon, de, en, to, photi, peripatomen, hos, autos, estin, en, to, photi, koinonian, echamen, met, alelon, kai, ta, haima, Iesu, tu, huiu, autu, katharidze, hemas, apa, passes, hamartias. Verse 8. Aeon, apomen, hati, hamartian, uk, echamen, healtus, planomen, kai, he, aletheia, uk, estin, en, hemin. Okay, doing okay? Hanging in there? You can always rewind the video and play this over and over again. And now these last two, I'm going to read at a normal pace, paying attention to punctuation. Aeon, homologomen, tas, hamartias, hemon, pistos, estin, kai, dikaios, hina, aphe, hemin, tas, hamartias, kai, katharise, hemas, apa, passes, adikias. Verse 10. Aeon, apomen, hati, uk, hemartekamen, pseustain, poiumen auton, kai halagas autu, uk, estin, en hemin. All right, that was a little bit faster, but you have these at different speeds so you can have different levels of practice. Okay, one just last thing. Go ahead and select all of the texts in John 1:10. Then go over to the reference palette and click on the speech icon. Looks like a thought bubble. And you can hear your computer read 1 John 1:10.
Aeon, apomen, hati, hemartekamen, pseustain, poiumen, auton, kai, lagas, autu, uk, estin, en hemin.
Well, maybe not quite as good as the live voice, but that's okay. And one of the things you can play around if you're just really bored someday is to go to Preferences and go down to your speech. And that voice was Fred, and you can go pick something else. So I don't know, how about Vicky? And come back, and I won't select all of it. We'll just select a little bit of it.
Aeon, apomen, hati, hemartekamen.
Anyway, you can have a little fun with that. Okay, good job, y'all. Just keep practicing at this. It may not feel really important to you right now, but you really need to get comfortable with the language and seeing it and being able to say it. And so just keep practice reading these exercises until you've got them down cold, okay? All right, thanks a lot.